Good afternoon and welcome to All About Animals. I'm Sherry Graditor and my guest today is Adrianne Grade, and we are going to talk about the Rover Grade Finally Home Animal Sanctuary. It's a new concept. It's something that's not been done before. Tell me what the concept is and what your mission is.
Well, the Rover Grade Finally Home Animal Sanctuary is named after my dog Rover, who passed away in 2000. And basically what we do is our mission is to provide a permanent home to senior dogs and cats that would otherwise be euthanized, basically because they're seniors. We take in dogs and cats over the age of 7 that have nowhere else to go. A lot of these animals are brought to other shelters or to the vets to be euthanized, and we will get the call saying we have this animal here. They don't want to have to euthanize the animal. The animal's healthy, but because they are seniors, they really are just no longer wanted. We take in animals that have disabilities. We have a shepherd who is paralyzed in his back end. We have dogs that are blind. We have some that are deaf. We also take in FIV cats. And eventually, once we are able to build the housing, we will also be taking in feline leukemia cats, which not many places around here do. Mm-hmm. So that's really, and we do not do adoptions. So we are a true sanctuary in that once the animal comes to us, they stay with us until it's their time.
And how do you house them?
Right now, they are housed in the house with me. I live on the property. We have 5 acres. We are right now trying to do fundraising. Our goal is to build housing on the property, one for the dogs, one house for the dogs, one for the cats. We will not have any kind of runs or crates or cages. The dogs will be housed kind of in individual little areas, more like a home. We want this to be like a home for them. The cats, we will have rooms. We'll have a few cat rooms for cats that are not FIV or FELUC positive. We will hopefully have a room for FELUC cats. Right now we have 5 FIV cats that live very happily with our other cats. So the goal is to be able to provide a permanent home for approximately 40 dogs and between 60 and 80 cats.
Wow.
Yeah.
And these animals come to you through vets, through shelters?
Basically, they come through vets, shelters. We work with Anti-Cruelty Society. We've taken quite a few of their dogs, their senior dogs. We just took in 2 dogs from Susan, who runs Waukegan Animal Control. We just took in a lab from her that was severely emaciated, could barely walk when we got her. Since then, she's put on over 9 pounds.
Wow. And
then we just actually took in a little Chihuahua from Waukegan, who we're not sure how old she is. She's older, though, but she has no teeth, so her tongue hangs out. She's very, very cute. Her name is Little Chi. We don't typically take from owners. We try not to do that. We try to basically take through the shelters, other rescues, and then we do also take quite a few from the vets.
Do you work with animal control at all?
We have in the past. They have actually called us a couple times for animals that they needed us to take. When we've contacted them, they have already found somebody else to take that animal.
Okay, so they are working to place those old animals.
Right, definitely. They are aware that we are there.
Yeah.
And that we'll take them to seniors.
How did you come up with the concept of a refuge for geriatrics?
You know, I've been involved in rescue for about 20 years.
No, you're too young to have been involved for 20 years, no?
Thank you. The last 15 years, I've been basically doing senior rescue out of my house. My background, I'm a nurse and a paramedic, and I was a urology nurse, and I worked with senior people. And I've just always been drawn to senior people as well as senior animals. So I have very good parents, and my dad said to me, if you want to do this, go find a place. And that's what I did. We found this place in Hawthorne Woods, and that's how the Rover Grade Finally Home Animal Sanctuary was born. You're very limited in Highland Park as to how many you can have. And of course, I was slightly over the limit.
A couple.
Just a couple. But, you know, everybody wants the puppies. You know, the middle-aged dogs are a little easier to place. You know, when you have a 10-year-old or 12-year-old dog or cat that's coming in that really has nothing else wrong with them other than they're a senior, it's not right. These are the best years of their lives, you know, when they get older, and you know, to turn them in basically because they're a senior, that's why we do what we do.
And you have a staff that you work with? I mean, obviously you can't do this alone.
Well, right now, I have another full-time job that I do during the day, which really helps to support the sanctuary. I also have a board member who does come in every day, lets the dogs out, cleans the yard for me. But, you know, right now, because it is in the house, we really don't do a lot with volunteers. We're hoping once we get the funding in to build the actual sanctuary that we can take in maybe a couple more volunteers, people who will come in to help clean litter boxes, groom dogs, you know, do nails.
Hug a cat.
Hug a cat, pet a dog. Right now, I do most of it. So, which it's a lot of work, but I have to say,
you must wish you had 6 arms.
I wish I had 12.
Because the one thing that these geriatric, not just these geriatric, but the animals that are available for adoption in the shelters, as well as the geriatrics, as well as the ones you've taken, and what they want is to be loved. And they've grown up being loved, and especially when you talk about seniors, where all of their lives they've been loved, and all of a sudden they're cut adrift.
Right, right. I mean, it's as soon as I walk in the house,
I've heard it.
Yeah, I've been on the phone. I usually have to get off the phone because you can't hear me anymore. But, you know, I always will have enough love for everybody. And, of course, they have more than enough love to give back. So...
Sherry is being fascinated by some photographs of animals over there. She's absolutely fascinated by them.
We have a couple that really kind of stand out. Leo, who was a Chow Chow that came from Gary, Indiana. He was really kind of one of the first dogs to come in through the sanctuary. Came in through a kill shelter out there. Was found as a stray, almost completely blind. Of course, being a Chow, it's a little more difficult to get him adopted. He's a senior. He was due to be euthanized, and we were called, and we said, of course, we would take him. He was heartworm positive, completely matted to the skin. For the first couple months, I couldn't touch him. I used to have to noose him to take him outside. He gained my confidence, and he's the only Chow I know that likes to be brushed. But he knows who strangers are, and if he hears you talking, he just does not like to be touched by strangers. With me, I mean, he's wonderful. We also had a little dog named Peanut who came in not that long ago that was found up in Antioch. Was found late at night. Somebody had dumped her over a fence, left her at a stable to fend for herself. She's blind, she's a senior, and she was so matted she couldn't even walk.
Wow.
She had to have an emergency grooming the next day. And she was going to go into a foster that fell through. So we took her in, and she now does have seizures. She's on medication for it. She's very well regulated. But, you know, it's animals like this that, you know, that we take in that otherwise would be euthanized. And she could live, hopefully, a long, long life.
Okay. So if you had to come up with a wish list, and tell people who are watching this show what you need. What is it you need?
Of course, the first thing we need is funding. Yes, we really need to start building the actual housing for the dogs and cats. That is number one. The other thing, of course, that we go through a lot of food, dog food. We use Nutro. We use a lot of the special diets because a lot of our seniors have skin allergies. They have dietary issues. On our website, we do have a list of dog food and cat food that we need. We use a lot of pedigree, canned food, gift cards to some of the pet stores. We use Pet Supplies Plus. You know, anything used, blankets, towels, litter.
Any specific kind of litter?
You know, we use clumping litter. That's the only kind that we use. Any type of clumping litter. We use Friskies canned food. On the back, we also have brochures, which are also at some of the places. We use Purina One for sensitive stomachs. That's a big food that we use for the cats. Like I said, Nutro. We have quite a few dogs that are on the herring and potato. That's a huge, and it gets very expensive.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
So dollars is number one. Pet food is number two. Blankets.
Right. Blankets, towels. It can be used.
Cleaning supplies, paper
cleaning
towels.
supplies, bleach. Anything that you would use at home, we can use. We just use it in a lot more quantity.
Yeah. So those are wishes, and we're not going to look for volunteers right now because you're really not in a position.
Right, but eventually, you know, I mean, or if somebody donates and wants to come out and visit, they can always call me on my cell number, and we can always arrange for them to come out.
Give us the cell number.
The cell number is 847-989-4647. You can always leave a message, and I do have had people that, you know, we've set up an appointment, they come out, so, you know, it's...
And if you call that number, you will hear the barking. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
If I answer while I'm at home, you will definitely hear.
Absolutely.
Well, we have 19 dogs right now and about 40 cats.
Wow.
So, yeah, as soon as you walk in the house, you will always hear the barking.
And we are out of time. So I want to thank you for coming in.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
This is a new baby organization with a beautiful mission, trying its best to give a home to those animals that otherwise would be dead. What more can I say? I mean, there really isn't much else that I can say. Check them out on the website. Give Adrianne a call. She's always, or almost always, available to help.
Right.
We are going to take you now to Save a Pet and show you some of the dogs and cats available there for adoption.